more here.
Yeah. Let's get Jess Garcia from Public Works on to kind of, because Maria Pangolina kind of said it's a DPW issue. So, Jess, I know that we touched base this morning. You said you hadn't looked at the law. So, me being the good guy I am, I sent it to you. So, were you able to figure that out, Jess?
Yes, Chris. Thanks for sending that thing over.
Yeah. Good morning. Jess Garcia is the Deputy Director of DPW.
Hi, Jess.
Ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Jess.
Hey. Okay, good morning, Chris.
Morning.
Sabrina. Okay, yeah, I reviewed the law, and apparently it looks like all political signs should be posted on private property, not on a government easement or government property. Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So if you're going to put a political sign up, it has to be on private property, and if it's close by a road, it would have to be at least 8 feet away from the paved portion of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're waving, then while you're waving, you can just do whatever, Jess?
So I think that's a different issue, Chris, on the waving. They're talking about political signs, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What
so
about...
I think it's a total different thing. I would have to check into that. But as far as the sign law, Public Works regulates the sign law.
So from what you understand, everything that happened there Saturday relative to the sign law, the political sign law, was legal?
I don't know if they have any signs that were up on government property saying that to vote for me or whatever, but it's just I didn't see any political signs down there that were posted on property.
Were you down there Saturday, Jess?
I went down just to check it out, but I didn't see any political signs posted on private. On the lawn or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What about having this type of candidate petition drive? And I mean, because it's a political activity, is it okay to have it on government property?
Well, as far as that I would have to defer back to Maria on that.
Hey, Lana.
It's the political signs that are being posted is what DPW would regulate.
Lana, she already went into church, so we kind of get her. So. What do you think, though, Jess? What's your gut feeling? I mean, you're no stranger. How many elections you've been involved with on both parties?
Yeah, well, the petition drive. I don't really know. I would have to get guidance from Maria, though.
Bree?
No, I'm just looking at. So you don't. There's a part in the language of the law that was posted in this video, using government travel allowance, government transportation, government supplies, at or government facilities for the benefit of any political party, partisan political organization, or candidate. So that's okay.
Well, that would have to be brought up with the election commission. That's not
okay.
If it was about signs, I'll definitely answer that. But I would defer to Maria on that.
Okay, Jess. Let me ask you this, Fen. What if I'm running for senator, and then I want to rent, the big pavilion at EPOW for my campaign thing? Is that okay?
I wouldn't know if they would be able to if they're allowed to do that kind of activity on a park. I would have to research that, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, is Adelupa a park or what? Is it? I mean, that part of it, is it kind of? Can you rent the field? Can you? Because that was the argument in the video I saw, Jess. That was kind of the argument I think Fred Berdalio made was, hey, they have gatherings and barbecues here all the time.
Well, I know on the bottom part is open to the public for the parks. You got a couple of pavilions down there and other stuff. The kids use it for soccer practice and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so if it, I guess, if it was on the other side of the fence, then that would be considered the actual governor's office, right?
Sounds like you're not really sure, Jess.
I'm not sure. I would have to do more research. If there's a specific thing you want me to check,
who do you? If I wanted to use, or say the Republican Party wanted to use the same area for a similar voter registration drive? Do they just set up and go for it, or do they have to get approval from Adelup to do that? Or DPW or whoever?
I would have to verify that, but I don't think if they did it, then it wouldn't be a problem, I guess, for the Republican Party to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying the Republicans can come on down and set up?
And just have a voter registration.
Was there any permit, Jess, that the Democratic Party had to get from Public Works to have this event?
No, because basically it's not a roadway; it's a park. So I don't know
it's a
what they.
So it's a park.
If they have a permit or what.
Okay.
Okay. So come on down, Republicans. You guys should go down. This would be great. What a great way to start Adelup's work week. Just get a bunch of annoying Republicans down at Adelup. I mean, bring only the most annoying ones, though. There's a few of them.
All right. Thanks, Jess.
Right.
Oh, hey,
Wait,
is there
hold on.
any update on discussions with GDOE on school buses for the upcoming school year?
So we're working together with GDOE on the scheduling and stuff like that for the new school year, depending on how DOE is going to handle the students coming into school, and we're still working on details.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has been finalized,
Mm-hmm.
so there's still discussion on it.
What about like PPEs for the bus drivers and sanitization of the school buses and social distancing on a school bus? I mean, that just seems kind of
that's
difficult.
why we're in discussions with DOE.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as PPEs and sanitizing the bus, we are doing that as of this time.
Okay.
As you know, we do the transport of the quarantine people from the airport to the quarantine facilities.
Is that going to continue when school starts?
That's what we're going to have to look at, Patty.
Patty and Bigatsa.
Sorry, Sabrina. But anyways, yeah. So we're gonna have to look into that. If it's gonna continue on to the school year, then we're gonna have discussions on how we're gonna handle the quarantine facilities.
Yeah, because you guys are going to be stretched pretty thin if you're going to have to implement social distancing, sanitize the buses in between, and still, have to transport precious cargo like that, and commingling if you're having to do both double duty with all these people coming in.
Yeah. Or do we need to hire more bus drivers, Jess? Is it looking like that?
At this point, Chris, actually, we need to still work the details out. It's really unclear of how we're going to handle the school year with the students.
Mm-hmm. What about private tour bus companies? Are they out of business, or just no? They don't want to transport these arriving passengers.
Right now, because we've had this pandemic ongoing, our bus drivers are available, so we try to minimize on expenditures on renting buses. If I can provide the service that the government can provide, I'll provide whatever I can.
Right.
Did you just say minimizing expenditures?
On my part.
You don't want to get in trouble, Jess, talking that kind of. You take it easy there, Jess.
Well, so the bus drivers are on summer break, right?
Mm.
So I have them doing this duty to help out.
I'm just messing with you.
So there's nothing you can tell us about the reopening of schools, because you're part of it, right?
No, not right now, because they're still under discussion with the DOE superintendent.
Jess, what about back to normal operations for DPW? How have you guys' operations increased now that we're more open than we used to be?
Well, actually, like for example, the building permit section. Construction was still ongoing during the closure, so we still had to provide services to the contractors that were working.
Mm-hmm.
Like inspections and stuff like that.
Yeah. Are you guys helping with is your agency helping with the homeless situation?
Yes, Public Works is helping out on that in some way.
What's the way that you're helping?
Well, like identifying the locations that are being proposed and stuff like that.
All right. So where are the locations? Did they? I know that when we spoke with the lieutenant governor last week, he was saying that hopefully by today he would have some answers.
Yes, they're still down with GSA, and we're waiting for them to select a couple of locations. So when GSA calls us to come out and assist them to look at certain buildings to make sure that they either meet code or what is our thing, and then that's when they call us to help out.
Mm-hmm. How close are we to finding this hardened shelter?
I believe it should be either today or this week for sure.
Oh, for sure.
I think they had a couple locations that they looked at,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this week GSA would be able to award.
Can you say where?
I can't say. Sabrina, GSA would have to be the one because I don't know what other bids came in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So just
Northern Guam?
Central, southern. Are we cold or are we hot? Northern Guam.
Well, I know for sure that they're trying to look for central locations of where the most populated homeless people are at.
Right.
Okay.
Jess, so we obviously, I know we had the director of Parks and Rec on Friday, Mr. John Birch, talking about kicking the homeless out of Paseo, but it looks like they got a reprieve. I was talking to a couple of them over the weekend, and they were allowed to stay. Can you know anything about that? Because they were told they had to leave by the end of day Thursday, and then I saw a bunch of people were telling me like, "Hey, yeah, we drove by Paseo. They're still here." And I actually talked to one of them, and they said, "Yeah,
well,
they gave us a break."
Actually, Chris, as of this morning, I'm going to be the acting director of Parks and Recreation.
Wait, what?
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 I will be the detailed to the acting director of Parks and Recreation for now until they find a permanent director.
Where's John Birch?
He went on
John
Chris and
Birch
Sabrina's show, and that was it.
Yeah, he was reassigned to I think Ancestral Lands Commission.
What happened, Jess?
I don't know. I think the director of the Ancestral Lands is
Mr. Ngoko?
on leave. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's musical directors.
Well, I was doing it before Mr. Birch came in.
Right.
Yeah.
What time?
So I guess they were asking me to come back and help and assist on getting issues worked out for the Parks and Recreation.
When did you find out that you were going to be the acting director? Was it like at 10:05 on Friday or?
It was
this morning.
Friday afternoon.
Friday. Okay, Friday afternoon.
What happened? Did it have anything to do with the interview that he did on the show?
That I don't know, John. Chris.
What do you think, though?
I don't know. I just do what I'm told, man. They asked me to do it. I'll do it. I'll do whatever I can to help the department out.
Yeah, we know,
Yeah,
Jess.
here, go get it.
Whatever
Yeah.
they.
So wait, are you talking to us now as the acting of? Are you still acting DPW deputy? Or?
Yes, it's a collateral duty for now.
Atlanta, they just added on more job for you.
Same status as how I was running it when I first came in.
Right.
So
Wow,
double duty.
you got a lot to do over at Parks and Rec. We went through the whole staffing pattern last week Friday. So good.
If you want to know anything about your mandates at Parks and Rec, just go back and listen to our interview from Friday. He laid it out several times. Man, dude, Jess, I was just texting Mr. Birch on Saturday. I was like, hey, when are we gonna? I said I'm gonna clear my schedule. We're gonna do the tour.
Yeah.
Remember, he said he pulled the Uncle Carl on me way back. I don't know if you guys remember, way back when I was at another station. I did this live interview with Uncle Carl, and he was like, "Lana boy, come in. We'll tour you around the island." And so John Birch did the same thing. So Saturday, I actually texted him. I was like, "Hey, happy early Father's Day. I want to take you up on that offer. We'll clear a time maybe in the next week or so. And he was like, yeah, I think it's going to be fun. But he didn't mention that he wasn't with the department any longer. So, interesting.
Does he does know, right?
Yeah, does he know, Jess?
I believe he should know.
Okay.
He should, right?
They should have gave him a memo.
Okay. Well, good luck, and
All
keep
right.
us posted with what's going on. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you guys got the pools.
Right.
The big cleanup is this weekend.
Yes. Well, we got just call me if you guys have any questions.
Yeah.
You
Of
guys
course. Yeah.
know where to find me.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're always accessible.
Totally.
Really appreciate that,
Yeah,
Jess.
yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank
Okay.
Thank
bye.
you, Jess.
you. Yes, thank you.
Okay, wash your hands.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Well. Ah, man.
Wow. He did just say he.
Don't. Another one bites the dust. Don't. Are
He
we going to get
really
flagged
just
for
said-
trademark if I sing that, Ken? Or no? Sony's not going to flag us, right?
You didn't know? You didn't know about this?
Don't.
You didn't know about this?
Well, Bree, my last conversation with the director was on it was on where was it? Oh, it was actually Friday. I texted him on Friday.
After
Anyway,
the
so
show?
let me just tell you, I said, hi, John, I'm going to take you up on that tour, but can we do a Facebook Live of it?
Mm-hmm.
Let me figure out the logistics because I don't think it can be an all-day thing, but it would be a good visual component to what you were saying this morning. Yeah, this is on Friday. Let me check a date and time frame, and I'll get back to you next week. Happy Father's Day. Then he replied, sure thing, Chris. I apologize for cutting you off earlier. Was just trying to get my point across, and I admit you didn't make it easy. You have a job to do, and I respect that. I have a job to do, and I hope you understand my position. You can meet and talk to any DPR employee without any censorship. You need to see and understand what they go through on a daily basis. Listen to them. Let them tell you their stories. I look forward to meeting you, and I admit I hope to influence your views about DPR if I can. The media has an important function in our community. Happy Father's Day. Okay, so those words from who we just learned is the new acting director at the Ancestral Lands Commission. Maybe that's a little more his speed. Bree, for Mr. Birch, the kind of older guy, this Parks and Rec, it's like there's a lot of stuff going on there. Obviously, as we heard Friday, a lot of.
Come on, he was just following directives. So.
Right, yeah. But I mean, can we say that his interview was just so damaging that they had to get him away from there? Was that what you think happened, or?
No, I think he held his own. He held his ground. He held his position that we got to clean up the parks, kick out the homeless is one of the, I guess, part of the plan.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know. I'm surprised, just as you are, that happened. He didn't even. I don't know. Wow.
I just thought I was going to get out of work. I thought I was going to go on a field trip.
You can still go.
Oh, can I still go?
Yeah, Jess
Okay.
will probably take. Well, Jess is kind of busy too. He's
Right, he is.
DPW and Parks and Recs. That's a lot. Those two huge agencies.
Well, there you go.
Well, I mean, DPW is a huge agency. Parks and Recs has multiple responsibilities. They haven't even fixed the pools yet.
Well, you heard it here first. Breaking news, I guess we can call it. The director, and he was the acting director at Parks and Rec, has been replaced by Public Works deputy director.
He replaced Richard
Jess
Ibanez,
Garcia,
right?
right.
He replaced Richard Ibanez.
So Rich
And
left
then-
or resigned,
Right.
and then Jess Garcia was the acting deputy for a little bit, and then they brought in John Birch as the acting director.
Director, I thought.
Yeah, so Jess was the acting director, and then they brought in John Birch as the acting director. Jess went back to DPW as the deputy, and now he's just doing both.
Right.
Yeah. And I think Jess is one of these guys. I mean, you talk to Jess, he's a down-to-earth, grassroots guy. He's good with the people in the departments that he manages, and
Yeah, he hustles.
he's a hustler, dude.
Yeah.
He's one of the hardest working.
Yep.
In fact, I want to say he's the hardest working deputy director.
Right. He was
that I've
also
seen.
former director of Parks,
Right.
not Parks and Recs, DPW, during. Was it? Which
was it
governor?
Camacho, maybe?
Could have been. Yeah, it could have
Say
been Camacho.
Probably it was Camacho because, related. But anyway. Crazy. Well, hey, Jess Garcia likes us. So there we go. We got an in, guys. We're going to get those pools fixed for you. It's the last thing we do, and hopefully it won't be the last thing we do. We're going to take a short break. Again, it's containing COVID. Guam's favorite, the KUAM News Takeover. Good morning.
Summer is here. Quench that
Keeping you informed.